Welcome back to Tub Pilates. Today we're going to be doing an advanced flow. The only prop you're going to need is your black box. If you don't have a black box, you can do most of it without it. We can just make little adjustments. So let's get into it. We're going to start on 2 medium, 1 light spring, or 2 medium, 1 heavy, whatever you like to do for footwork. That's where you're going to start. I've got 3 springs on. Please excuse the animal. Ellie, you want to go outside? Okay. All right. 3 springs on, ready for footwork. Go ahead and lie down on your reformer. We're going to start on the arches of our feet. Arms are down by our sides. Let's take a couple of big breaths in and out to get settled in. Big breath in through your nose. Fill up your rib cage. Feel it stretch and expand. And exhale out through your mouth. Knit everything together, belly button to spine. 1 more big breath in. Exhale and press off of that foot bar. Inhale as you come back in. When you're pressing off, we're staying on our arches, but we're curling our toes over the front like we're a bird standing on a branch. I have really high arches, so my arch position ends up being a little bit closer to my heels. Otherwise, my knees cave in. Keep up with your breathing. When you press it out, make sure you're giving everything a good squeeze. Activating all those little muscles, keeping the hips nice and steady. Press the carriage all the way out. Bend your knees, come halfway in. We're going to go tiny pulses. A little press and a little pull. Try not to bounce. We're going up an inch, down an inch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it all the way out. Pull it all the way in. Slide up to your heels. Flex your toes back towards your nose. Press it off on your exhale. Should be getting that nice stretch down the back of your calves now. We're holding that flex in our foot. Same thing when you press it out. Give everything a good squeeze. Pay attention to your hips, your pelvis. Make sure it's staying nice and heavy and even. Press the carriage all the way out. Bend your knees, come halfway in. Without moving the carriage, we're going to butterfly our knees. Little pivot on those heels. Your range of motion is as big as you can control it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it all the way out. Pull it all the way in. And we're going to slide down to our toes now. We've got all 10 toes on that foot bar. Press it off on your exhale. Inhale to pull it back in. So all 10 toes, but you're pressing through the first 2. That's where your focus should be, so you're not rolling out on those ankles. You've got a little lift in those heels to activate the calves, but try not to lock out your ankle, so we don't want to cave forward like this. Just a little lift. Like you're wearing little baby heels, little kitten heels. Press the carriage all the way out and pause. We're going to go for our calf raises. So keep your legs straight. Drop both heels under. Press up onto your toes. The slower the better here. Try not to bounce when you drop underneath. Little calf raises. The slower the harder though, so do what you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up, come halfway in. We'll go tiny pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it all the way out and prance it out. Nice little tendon stretch down each leg. Press it up onto your toes. Drop both heels under. Take your arms up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, sit all the way up. Bend your knees to come all the way in. We're going to take off 1 spring. We're going into some single leg footwork. So I've got 1 medium, 1 heavy. And I'll take that right into my bridging as well. So one medium, one heavy. Go ahead and lay back down. Pull up your pants because I'm sure they rolled down. We're going to start left toes on the foot bar, right leg in tabletop, and we're going to go for some alternating. So we're going to shoot it over, pull it back, shoot it under. We're still pressing through that big toe and that second toe. We want to make sure we're not locking out that ankle. Pointing the right toe to make it intentional as you press it in and out. Press the carriage all the way out, straighten that right leg up to the ceiling. We're going to circle the leg down, sweep it out and around. So we're coming across the body, circle it down, sweep it out and around. Pay attention to your hips here. If you're getting a lot of rocking and rolling, you want to do a smaller circle till you can control that movement. You can slide your hands just under your butt. You'll be able to feel if you're lifting, reverse your direction. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg straight up to the ceiling. Bend both your knees. Come all the way in. We're going to stay on this left foot. I'm going to take it down to my arch though. You can stay on your toe. We're going to go for some single leg bridging. So it's whatever you prefer. Toes will be a little more challenging. I'm going to drop it to my arch because I'm filming a couple of these today. All right, right leg is in tabletop. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, you're going to tuck your pelvis and roll up into your bridge. Arms are down by your side for support. Nice little lift in those hips. Big breath in at the top. Exhale to melt it back down, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, tuck and roll it up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, melt it down. This time we're going to roll it up and hold it there. Straighten that right leg up to the ceiling and let's go tiny pulses like we're trying to poke a hole in the ceiling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it right there. Bend that right knee. Lower it all the way down. Give your legs a little sway side to side. And we'll take it over to the left foot now, starting with the right toes on that foot bar. Left leg in tabletop. Press it off on your exhale. We're going with that alternating, shoot the leg over and then shoot the leg under. Little bicycle alternate. Pay attention to that left toe. Point that foot. Right toe, right foot, we're pressing through the right toe. Little lift in the heel, but don't lock out the ankle. Don't forget to breathe. Press that carriage all the way out. Take that left leg up to the ceiling. Point the toe. We're going to come across the body. Sweep it down. Circle out and around. Your single leg circles. We're paying attention to our hips here, making sure they're not rocking and rolling. Isolating the movement to just that leg. Reverse your direction. You can pop your hands onto your hips or under your butt so that you can feel if things are rocking and rolling. Take that leg up to the ceiling, bend your knee, bend your right knee, bring it on home. You can stay on your right toes or slide down to your arch for your round of single leg bridging. We'll start with just a little lower and lift. Take a big breath in at the bottom. On your exhale, tuck and roll it up. Inhale at the top, exhale, melt it back down, one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone untucks last, big breath in. Exhale, roll it up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, melt it back down. We'll go one more and then we'll hold it there. Melt it back down. This time we roll it up and hold. Straighten that left leg up to the ceiling. Little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Bend the left knee. Roll it all the way down. Little sway side to side. All right. And then let's take it on up. Come over to your springs and take it down to one light spring or one light button. So for me, on this Peak machine, I'm doing a blue, one spring, light. We're gonna have the box right next to the reformer. I like to even have mine tucked underneath just a little bit so I know it's nice and steady. Pause. Come on in, Ellie dog. All right, going for our lunge series, we're gonna come to standing on top of this box. We're gonna we're going curtsy lunge. So our outside leg is gonna reach behind us and go up against that shoulder block. We're gonna have that other foot towards the front of that box. So we've got a nice strong base. Hands can come to your hips, prayer hands, genie arms, whatever you like. You can also add in fancy arms. If you have a set of weights at home, this would be a great place to add in some weights, just 3s or 5s even. Could add a little bit more to this. So we're focusing our energy on that right leg, the leg that is down on the box. That's, don't lose your focus. That's where your weight is. That's where we're focusing. The other leg is along for the ride. Lunges out. Let's lunge it out and pause. We're going to skate that back leg in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it out. Pause and we'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way up. Step it off that box. We're just going to turn out. So we're just turning away from the reformer. Same foot stays on the box. Other foot goes to that shoulder rest. My toes kind of like to go up. You might prefer to have your foot down. It's just whatever works for you. And now we lunge it out to the side. Same deal with the arms. You're welcome to add in weights here to take it up a notch. Just make sure you're doing something intentional with your arms and not just the like stressed out arms that we do when we start to get tired. Don't forget your breathing. Lunge it out, pause. We're gonna skate that leg in and out, holding that lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it out, pause, and we pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way in. Good. All right, so down off of that box. We're gonna take the box onto the reformer. Short box style. It's gonna be right up against those shoulder rests. If you do not have a box, you could have done those lunges just standing on the floor. You won't have as much of a range of motion, but you could have given it a shot. For this one, if you don't have the box, we're just planking. So you're welcome to just have your feet against those shoulder rests instead of against the box. We're gonna take the heels up onto the box. Toes are down on the platform like you have little Barbie feet. I'm gonna stay on this same light spring, this blue spring that I'm using. You could take it up a notch, maybe to a button, just to give you a little bit more support. The lighter the springs, the more work for your abs. We're getting a lot of animal action today. All right, starting with just a nice plank. Hands come down to that foot bar. Shoot the carriage out, and we're gonna hold it here. When you're in your plank, a couple of things to look for. You want your shoulders to be above your wrists, so you don't want to be hinged out like this. You want to make sure you're tucked on top. You want a nice straight line from the top of your head to your tailbone. You don't want to drop your butt down like this. That puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. So unless your abs are super duper strong, keep that butt up just a little bit higher than you think. I don't know how long we've been planking, I'm going to be honest. But I'm starting to shake, so let's add in our next step. We're going to go knee tucks. Don't forget to breathe here. Nice long neck. Don't let your head collapse. We always want to look back at what's moving, but resist the urge. I promise it's not that interesting. Little knee tucks. The upper body should be staying more or less still for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck it in. You're going to close the carriage. We're going to sit back into a little hover. Arms come up and we pulse for 4, 3, 1, sit it all the way down. Whew. That pulse at the end is tough. We're gonna go one more round of planks here. Mix it up a little bit. Take those feet back to their little Barbie feet against the box or just against the shoulder rest if that's what you're doing. This time we're gonna go long stretch. So you're gonna come out into your plank. Shoulders right above wrists. Then we push that foot bar away. Tuck it back in. The rest of our body stays flat and strong and long. Push it away. Tuck it back in. Don't forget to breathe. Nice long neck. Squeezing those abs so we don't collapse. For 4, 3, 2, tuck it in. Now we go pikes. So straight legs, we kick that butt up into the air like we're going into downward dog, and you can tuck your head back. Look at those thighs. Make sure when you press the carriage back out that you're not dropping down too low. Sometimes we have a tendency to drop it a little bit too low when we go in for our pikes. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike it up, bring the carriage all the way in. Sit back to your hover, arms up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit it on down. All right, grab a sip of water if you need it. Otherwise, we're gonna take the box over to the side. Hopefully, you have a little bit more room on the side of your reformer than I do, so you're not crunched right into a wall. So we're boxed on the floor, right next to the reformer. I'm staying on that one light spring. Come to standing on top of that box, and we start with our curtsy lunge. So outside leg crosses behind, goes to that shoulder rest. Whew, out of breath. And we start with our little lunges. Sometimes if you're feeling a little unbalanced, it can just be because you don't have that front leg far enough forward. So that's a little adjustment you can make so it's not like you're caving forward. Again, if you'd like to add in weights, this would be a great place to do that. Don't forget to breathe. Remember, the energy is going through that leg on the box, so that left leg. Carriage leg is just along for the ride for now. You might feel a little stretch in that hip if you've got real tight hips, but it's really about the glutes doing the work. Let's lunge it out and pause. We're gonna skate that back leg in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it out and we pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in. Little breather. All right, you're gonna be looking at my back now. We turn it out away from the reformer. That same foot stays on the box, other foot goes to the shoulder rest. My toes go up, your toes might feel better forward. Whatever works for you, you're just keeping those hips square to the wall, not twisting back. So keep it square. And we just go little lunges to start. Again, you could add in weights here. Don't forget to breathe. You could also make your arms a little more interesting. If you've got a magic circle, you could always hang on to that. All right, lunge it out, pause. We're gonna skate that leg in and out. We're holding our lunge on that leg on the box for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it out and we pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way in. Step off of that box. All right, we're gonna come on down to the floor. We're gonna take our box down a little bit closer to that shoulder rest. So we're kind of in line. Top of the box is in line with that shoulder rest. You're gonna keep your spring on one light spring or one light button. Just a little bit more weight might be good here. We're gonna go for a swan. So you're gonna come to laying down on top of that box. Your chest is gonna be right at the edge of the box. Hand that's closest comes to that shoulder rest. Other hand, we're gonna start with it on the corner of this box. We're just getting a feel, couple of arm presses to feel that weight. If this is too heavy, take it to a lighter spring. If it feels super duper light, take it to a button from whatever spring you're on. All right, we're gonna take that arm to the forehead. I don't have a ton of room here, hopefully you have more. 2 arm presses, press it out, take a big breath in, point your toes, squeeze your butt, lift up into your extension, and then lower it down. 2 arm presses. This is our swan. Let's add in that breath. Press it out. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's go 2 more. 2 arm presses. Press the gear down. Point your toes. Squeeze your butt. Lift up into that swan. Lower it down. Last one. 2 arm presses. Press it out. Big breath in. Lift up into your swan. Lower it down. Bend your arm, come all the way in. You can sink back, take a little child's pose here, a little stretch. Little breather. All right, we're gonna take this box back on top of our reformer, short box, and we're gonna go for some short box abs. So depending on your reformer, you may need to gear it out. I'm gonna throw on 1 heavy spring just to help keep my reformer from wiggling too much. And I'm gonna gear it out 1 slot. If you're not sure if you should gear out, be sure to check out our video that talks about gearing out or not. All right, foot goes under that black strap. Now my black strap is really long, so I might have to gear it out a little bit more than the normal person. Actually, I am gonna take it out 1 more. There we go. But the point should be when you pull back, you flex back, you're pressing into that strap and not hanging out on that platform. So we're gonna start side facing. I've got 1 leg hooked in here, the other leg is reaching long. And we're gonna go for our side bends. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, make it a little bit more challenging, this is gonna depend on your anatomy. It's not for everyone's hips, but you can take that bottom leg and hook it either in front of or behind. And so that way you're just hanging out on just your hip rather than the support of that leg. My hips do not love doing that, so I'm gonna keep this leg hooked in, but just know that's an option and a little bit more advanced of a move. All right, flex back on that foot, hands behind your head. We're just gonna go little dips down towards the well. Eyes looking forward because we don't wanna rotate. When you dip, it's like you're hinging from your waist, like you're reaching over a barrel rather than collapsing down. So keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, dip it down, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it all the way up. Little breather. We're gonna do 1 more round on this side. We're gonna add in a rotation, but same basic pattern. So pull back on that strap, flex your foot, lean out. We're gonna dip down, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it back up. Dip, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it back up. Keep going. Make sure when you're doing this, it's like you're reaching over a barrel so that movement is coming from your waist. You're not collapsing it down. Let's get 1 more. Dip, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it back up. Whew. All right. We're not going to have any funny business. We're just going to take it over to the other side. So go ahead and swap your feet. Option to try that little leg hook. You can see what it would look like. My issue is my hips just so round, I like roll backwards when I try and do it, so. Just a little too juicy. All right, hands behind your head. We're going just dips to start. Don't forget that breath. Use that exhale to help you lift. Eyes are looking forward so you don't rotate. It's just a lateral flexion, just a side bend. You're hinging from your waist like you're reaching over a barrel. And we'll keep going for 4, 3, 2. Hold it down. We're holding it at our lean for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull it all the way up. Little breather. Whew. Let me try not to yawn directly in this microphone. All right, here we go. Now we add our twist. The same pattern, but we add in that twist. So we dip, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it back up. Dip, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it back up. Keep going with your dip, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it back up. Let's go one more. Remember to really come out from your waist for your dip, twist, open, close, unwind, pull it all the way back up. And come on out of that strap. All right. You can take off that heavy spring. We've got to get our swan on the other side. So go back to whatever you're doing for that. I had one light spring. We're going to gear it back in. We'll come on over to the other side. Take that box down to the floor. Make sure it's in line with the shoulder rest. Since we're laying down on it, you don't need to tuck it under if you don't want to, but depending on your space. We're going to lay down on this box. Hand that's closest to the reformer goes onto that shoulder rest. We're going to start with the other hand just here on the corner of the box. Squeeze your butt, point your toes, nice long neck. Just get a couple arm presses in to check the weight here. And now let's go for our swan. I'm going to take my hand to my forehead. We press the carriage out. Take a big breath in. Let it lift us into our extension. Lower down on our exhale. 2 arm presses. Press it out. Squeeze your butt, lift. Lower it down. 2 arm presses. Make sure when you come up into that lift, you're taking a little hold there, a little beat before you lower it back down. Really stick the move. This will be our last one. Press it out. Big breath in. Exhale down. Relax. And you can lean back for a little child's pose if you want. Whew. All right, we are done with our box. We're going to come back onto our reformer. Get a quick little arm series. We're going to come to a nice kneel facing our springs. And we're going to reach back for just our left strap. You can go long loop or short loop. Short loop a little bit more challenging, so go what you will. I'm staying on this one light spring because I had an arm injury, so my arms are so weak. But you're welcome to just crack it up to a button if you'd like. So we're going to start with a wood chop. I'm going to come up into a high kneel as I sweep it forward. I'm going to bow and arrow back, reach it forward, and then lower it down. Sweep it up, bow and arrow back, reach it forward, lower it down. So not a true wood chop because we're not going diagonal. We're just doing a sweep up, lower it down. Let's go one more. Sweep it up. Palm is down. Sweep it down. All right, we're going to swap to the other side. Grab that short loop, same pattern. So we sweep it up, bow and arrow back, sweep it down. Sweep it up. That palm is down the whole time. We're twisting back, following that elbow when we bow and arrow. Use that exhale to help you. This is our last one. And lower it down. We're gonna reach back for both straps now. 2 little moves with both hands in. I'm gonna come up into my high kneel. We're gonna go for a circle for our hug a tree. Open your arms, exhale, bring them back in. You wanna keep that gentle bend in your elbows. You wanna keep your hands in your peripheral vision. You want a nice long neck. Relax those shoulders. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Flip your hands out to that diamond. We're gonna finish with our triceps. We're gonna take a little bit of a lean forward. That butt pops out just a little bit. Bend the elbows. This is our shave the head. Hands come behind the head. If this is not working for you, you can straighten it up and just take them right to your forehead. A little bit less intense. For 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Hang up those long loops. And we'll finish up with a quick legs and straps. I'm going to go 1 medium, 1 heavy for my springs. 2 mediums, a great place to be. 1 medium, 1 light. I don't like to throw on a ton of weight when I'm doing legs and straps, but you know what you like, so go for that. Go ahead and lay down, get those feet in the long loops. Just a minute or so here. We're gonna start with leg circles. Arms are down by your side, feet are connected in the middle. We'll float them up to the ceiling. Take them out to the sides, sweep them down. They meet at the bottom. Take those legs up, sweep them out and around. Meet at the bottom. Make sure you're keeping that tailbone nice and heavy. We're not dropping into any inversions today. So keep that tailbone heavy. Don't forget your breathing just because we're cooling down. 1 more. Next time you're at the top, let's reverse our direction. So we sweep them down, circle them out, around and up. Make sure you're meeting those feet together. Check in on your hips. You don't want a ton of movement from them. So if you're feeling your lower back kind of weeble wobble, go for a smaller range of motion. I know it can feel good to go big and hit that stretch, but you got to make sure you're doing everything with control. Sweep those legs around, meet them at the ceiling. Let's lower out to about 45 degrees. Pilates be the feet. And we're going to go frog. We're going to flex those feet back. Knees come towards our shoulders, so we're separating out at an angle. And keep those heels glued together the whole time. When you press it out, give your inner thighs a good squeeze. Really stick that position. And let's finish with my favorite legs and straps, frog swimming. So we're gonna frog it in. From here, we straighten our legs out to the sides. We're in a V. The carriage did not move. Sweep your legs around. You've hit that Pilates V. Frog it in. Open without moving the carriage. Sweep around. Frog it in. Open. Sweep. Sometimes we have a tendency to do the open and sweep in one move, but we want to make sure we're doing those as 2 distinct moves, because otherwise we're not going to be able to tell if the carriage didn't move or not. And let's try it in reverse. So we open out, bend it in, connect those heels, press it out, squeeze the inner thighs, open out to a V. Bend the knees, connect the heels, press it out, squeeze the inner thighs. Let's get 2 more. Last one. Press it out, good. Float those legs up to the ceiling, grab onto your straps, and just take a second to get a little stretch, a little split stretch. Maybe hit that little figure 4, little butterfly. Whatever you need, take 10 seconds. That figure 4 will feel nice after those lunges we did. Couple of deep breaths in and out. And then let's come on out of our long loops. Hang them up on your pegs. Sit up on the side of your reformer. We'll do our final breath together. Sitting up nice and tall. Everyone take a big breath in. Arms come up. Exhale, circle those arms down behind you. Big breath in, palms together. Exhale, all done. That was about a 30-minute advanced reformer flow from Tub Pilates. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out our other videos. If you were looking to add more onto this, maybe checking out a short mat video or hanging out in your footwork or legs and straps a little bit longer. See you guys next time.